Hey, I'm Brad Bojda. I'm the owner at Twin Peaks Property Inspections. We've been operating since 2018 in the GTA, inspecting residential and commercial properties. We inspect all the way from Hamilton out to Oshawa and up through Barrie. So a little bit about myself. My work history includes about 20 years building homes. I'm actually a Red Seal licensed carpenter, and I spent a great deal of time building these exact homes. Nowadays our architecture is changing. We like to have these modern style homes. And along with that comes some challenges with insulation and our harsh winter climate here. So in this scenario, we've been hired by the developer. The developers actually hired us to come in and have a second eye on the exterior building envelope. They want to make sure that they're limiting any headaches after the fact, and really they want people to move in here and limit any complaints or issues they're having. So really proactive on the builder and the developer's part here. And we're going to spend the next 5 days going through the 106 units. There's about 16 blocks here, and we're just going to be very meticulous and provide them with an inspection report that summarizes where the exterior is at in this property. So these things, they look beautiful, and they are, but there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of tight corners, and our goal is to make sure that there's no water making its way inside. So some common things that we're looking for are these flat roofs. We want to make sure these flat roofs are draining, the water's getting away. We're also looking at all this EIFS, this charcoal stucco system. We want to make sure that that's properly done. They're sealed up around the windows. We're looking at the brick window assembly. We want to make sure that there's good ventilation, good weep holes there. And then up top, we have all this standing seam. We have this steel roofing. And there's a lot of really tight corners and, places where ice and snow can sit. And so it's our job to really get in there with our drones and with our hands and eyes. And we want to get up there and have a look and make sure that everything's sealed up nice and tight. Because the last thing we want is for people to move into these homes and they find water inside. So that's why we're here. The builders hired us to come in and have an expert eye on these things. So we'll be here for the next few days, just getting things together and really comprehensive inspection. We're at the back of this block of townhomes here. We can see there's a mix of exterior finishes. We've got brick, we've got EIFS stucco, and we've got some wood. And then up top, we also have standing seam. We have metal roofing. Jamie's over here. He's doing some inspections as we go. And you can see things are really coming along. They've got the grass down, the decks are built. So there's some ongoing work going on up here. They're finishing the final waterproofing details. They're adding some ventilation to the roofing system. And as we move through, construction's difficult. We got tight timelines. We've got trades that are trying to all work together. And so things happen. It's construction. But really we want this developer to have success. We want the people to move in and have limited headaches. So Jamie's over there, he's pointing out, some scratches and some minor deficiencies here. But that's part of our job. Our job is to come in here and be very detail oriented. So some common things that I'm looking for here is we want to make sure things are waterproof. So all the sealant here, the waterproof caulking is in place. Same thing around the doors. We're checking for handrail heights, right? We want to make sure that these are nice and solid for young children and people who are living here. As we're looking at the brick finishes, again, this is construction. Things are not always perfect. Somebody started to drill a hole there and it turned out that it needed to be, further down for the air conditioner. So that would be something that's on our report so that the builder knows they got to come back and they've got to replace these bricks. Also, as we move through, we want to make sure that, again, the windows are in good condition. There's some good sealant around here. There's no signs of damages to the glass. It's a construction zone, so we want to make sure that there's no broken glass. We're also looking for the wall assembly. As we look at the brick, we're looking for all these ventilation, these weep holes that are so critical to making the house breathe. The foundation's nice and strong. We've got this EIFS, this stucco, modern stucco system. So there's a lot of pieces and building components going together.